The US and Swedish militaries have conducted joint military exercises in the Baltic Sea.
This is an historic day. We welcome Sweden into NATO.
Is Sweden at war? The country's prime minister is giving mixed signals. He says Stockholm may not be at war, but there is no peace either.
The Baltic Sea just witnessed something that could change the future of air combat forever. For the first time, the United States and Sweden conducted joint military exercises as NATO allies, marking a historic moment as Sweden officially steps into the alliance. But what makes this moment even more intense is the message coming from Sweden's leadership. The Prime Minister didn't say the country is at war, but he also made it clear this is not peace. It's a gray zone where tension is real and preparation is everything. Now picture this. Between May 28th and June 3rd, 2025, inside Swedish civilian airspace, a Gripen E fighter jet takes off. But this isn't a normal mission. There is no pilot making the key decisions. Instead, an advanced AI system called Centaur, developed by the German company Helsing, is in control. As the jet enters beyond visual range combat, it begins to think, react, and adapt on its own. It tracks a human pilot as the opponent, analyzes movement in real time, calculates firing solutions, and adjusts tactics instantly without waiting for human input. Every move it makes could mean survival or destruction, and yet no human is touching the controls. This wasn't a simulation, this was real combat maneuvering. For the first time in history, artificial intelligence controlled a frontline fighter jet in live BVR conditions. Let that sink in. We are no longer talking about future concepts, this is happening now. And when you compare it to the global landscape, the contrast becomes even more striking. Finland is operating the F-35, one of the most advanced and expensive fighter jets in the world, costing over $30,000 per flight hour. Meanwhile, Sweden's Gripen E is built on a completely different philosophy. It costs around $4,700 per hour to operate. It can land on a highway, be refueled and rearmed by a small team, even conscripts, and be back in the air in about 10 minutes. Its software can be updated in hours, not months, and now it has shown that it can integrate AI that learns, adapts, and fights in real time. This isn't just about technology, this is about a shift in how wars may be fought in the future. Smarter systems, faster decisions, lower costs, and machines that can think at the speed of combat. Before we go deeper into what this means for NATO, Sweden, and the future of warfare, take a second to like the video and subscribe. Most people watching right now aren't subscribed, and your support helps keep these deep, high-quality breakdowns coming.
When a country like Finland, known for its calm, practical, no-nonsense approach to defense, looks at Sweden's military transformation and quietly says, "This is smart. You know something big is happening." This isn't about flashy weapons or the most expensive jets. This is about a country with just 10.5 million people building a military so efficient, so innovative, that it can compete with much larger powers. Sweden isn't trying to outspend superpowers, it's outthinking them. And now, even its Nordic neighbors are paying close attention. If you want to understand how smaller nations are rewriting the rules of modern warfare through smart design and rapid innovation, make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what comes next. Let's go back to those groundbreaking tests between May and June 2025. What happened there wasn't just another military exercise, it was a glimpse into the future. According to Saab, the AI system called Centaur wasn't just helping the pilot, it was thinking, reacting, and fighting. It executed complex maneuvers, provided real-time firing cues, and adjusted its tactics on the fly against a human opponent. This is not autopilot, this is combat intelligence. And here's where it gets even more impressive. The Gripen E is built on a modular, software-defined system, which means this AI wasn't bolted on as an experiment, it was integrated directly into the aircraft's operational brain without interfering with critical safety systems. Sweden's Air Force leadership made their vision clear. Instead of waiting years for new hardware, they upgrade their fighters through software. Think about that for a second. When a country like Russia or China develops new electronic warfare tactics, Sweden doesn't panic or start designing a new jet. They push an update. Within hours, every Gripen E in service can adapt, learn, and respond. It's fast, flexible, and incredibly powerful. This is completely different from the traditional approach.
Take the F-35, for example. An incredible aircraft, no doubt, but one that depends on massive budgets, complex infrastructure, and long upgrade cycles. Sweden took a different path. They built the Gripen E like a smartphone, constantly improving, always evolving, instead of a machine you replace every 20 years. But the real brilliance isn't just in the aircraft itself. It's in how Sweden plans to use it in war. While many NATO countries rely on large, highly advanced air bases, huge targets that can be easily tracked and hit, Sweden spreads its air power across the country. Highways become runways. Small, hidden airstrips become launch points. The Gripen E can take off and land on just 800 meters of road. And here's the part that surprises most people. It doesn't need a massive crew. Just 6 trained conscripts can refuel and rearm the jet in about 10 minutes using simple equipment. That's not just efficiency, that's survival. In a real conflict, when major air bases are under threat, this kind of flexibility could be the difference between losing your air force or keeping it alive and fighting. This is Sweden's strategy. Not bigger, not more expensive, but smarter, faster, and harder to destroy. And that's exactly why the world is starting to pay attention. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring you more deep, high-impact insights into the technology shaping modern warfare. When modern warfare becomes a game of detection and survival, one thing matters most. Can you stay hidden, or will you be found first? Imagine this. Russian satellites are watching from space, tracking large, fixed air bases where billion-dollar jets like the F-35 are parked in neat rows. Those bases are powerful, but they are also predictable. Now compare that to Sweden's approach. Instead of staying in one place, their Gripen fighters simply disappear into forests, onto highways, across hidden strips of land. They don't wait to be targeted. They move, they blend in, and they survive. And this isn't just theory. It's already been proven in real operations. During NATO air policing missions in Poland throughout 2025, Swedish Gripen CD fighters faced a very different kind of threat: slow, low-flying Shahed drones. These are small, hard-to-detect targets that many older radar systems struggle to see. But the Gripen handled it. It detected them, tracked them, and engaged them successfully. Sweden's Air Force Chief, Jonas Wickman, confirmed it clearly. This capability was tested, validated, and is now fully operational. That's important because it shows Sweden isn't just preparing for future wars, it's already adapting to the threats of today. But what makes Sweden truly stand out is speed, not just in the air, but in how fast it upgrades its capabilities. Instead of waiting years for new systems, Sweden moves quickly. Take the Taurus KEPD-350 cruise missile. It was originally planned for integration around 2028, but after reassessing priorities, Sweden pushed it forward. Now it's arriving much earlier, and this missile changes everything. With a range of about 500 kilometers, it allows Gripen jets to strike deep into enemy territory, hitting command centers, air bases, and critical infrastructure without ever entering hostile airspace. That means more safety, more reach, and more control. Now combine that with the Meteor missile, one of the most advanced air-to-air weapons in the world. This gives the Gripen E the ability to engage enemy aircraft from over 100 kilometers away. In simple terms, it can see you and hit you long before you even know it's there. That's a massive advantage in modern air combat. And Sweden isn't slowing down. Saab has secured contracts worth 2.5 billion Swedish kroner, around $272 million, to keep upgrading the Gripen through 2028. But here's the key difference. These are not slow, decade-long programs. These are rapid upgrades. New weapon systems, smarter release mechanisms, advanced countermeasure pods, all being added in months, not years. The aircraft keeps evolving, almost like a living system. Then comes one of its most powerful features, electronic warfare. Wickman described it as one of the Gripen E's defining strengths. But what makes it truly revolutionary is how everything connects. The jet's sensors don't just work alone, they share information across a network, inside the aircraft and with other platforms. It's similar to the kind of sensor fusion seen in the F-35, where data from radar, infrared, and other systems combine into a single clear picture. But Sweden has achieved this at a fraction of the cost, almost 1/6. This is the bigger picture. Sweden isn't trying to build the most expensive fighter in the world. It's building a smarter system, one that moves faster, adapts quicker, and stays harder to kill. And in modern warfare, that might matter more than anything else. If you're enjoying this deep dive, hit the like button and subscribe, because what we're seeing right now isn't just an upgrade, it's a shift in how air power will be used in the future.
This is where Sweden's strategy becomes crystal clear, and honestly, a little shocking. According to Air Force Chief Jonas Wickman, the Gripen E isn't just built to survive in dangerous airspace, it's built to go deep inside it, operate freely, and control the fight. It doesn't rely on just one idea, like stealth. Instead, it uses layers, low visibility, powerful electronic warfare, radar jamming, signal spoofing, and constant data sharing. All of these systems work together at the same time. So instead of hiding like a shadow, the Gripen E confuses the enemy, disrupts their sensors, and feeds real-time intelligence to other platforms like GlobalEye and friendly shooters. In simple words, it doesn't just avoid detection, it actively breaks the enemy's ability to see. And that's why Swedish pilots often joke, "We see without being seen." They can jam enemy radars, trick incoming missiles, and operate inside contested airspace where most aircraft would struggle to survive. But here's the part that really stands out. They're doing all of this at a fraction of the cost, around $4,700 per flight hour for the Gripen, compared to roughly $30,000 for the F-35. That's not just a difference, that's a completely different philosophy of warfare. Now look at what the world is doing. Countries aren't just watching, they're buying into this idea. In November 2025, Colombia signed a deal worth around $3.1 billion for 17 Gripen E-F fighters, choosing them over American F-16s and FA-18s. Thailand followed with an order for Gripen E-F jets in August 2025. Brazil is already ahead of the curve, operating 36 Gripens and even producing them locally. That tells you something. This isn't just a Swedish solution anymore, it's becoming a global one. And then there's Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a letter of intent with Sweden for up to 150 Gripen E fighters. Why? Because Ukraine needs aircraft that can survive in the toughest conditions: damaged runways, constant threats, limited infrastructure. And that's exactly what Gripen was designed for. It can operate from rough airfields, needs less maintenance, and can stay in the fight even when everything else is under pressure. Even Canada is starting to rethink its options. After committing to only 16 out of a planned 88 F-35s, and with rising tensions in trade and supply chains, Ottawa is quietly exploring alternatives. And yes, Gripen is on that list. Saab is even in talks to bring production into Canada, which could completely reshape North American defense industry and air power balance. And here's the final piece that ties it all together. A study by Janes back in 2012 already showed that Gripen had the lowest operating cost among manned fighters, around $4,700 per flight hour. More than a decade later, that philosophy still holds strong. Sweden didn't try to build the most expensive jet. They built the smartest one. This isn't just about one aircraft. This is about a new way of thinking. Faster, cheaper, more flexible, and harder to defeat. And that's exactly why the world is starting to take Sweden very seriously. If you're enjoying this deep dive, hit the like button and subscribe, because what we're witnessing right now isn't just evolution, it's a quiet revolution in modern air combat. Now, this is where the difference becomes impossible to ignore. The F-35 costs over $30,000 per flight hour. That's not just a number, it changes everything. It means fewer training hours, tighter budgets, and constant pressure on resources. But Sweden took a completely different path. The Gripen E operates at around $4,700 per hour. That gap is massive. It's the difference between pilots flying regularly and staying sharp, or flying occasionally just to save money. It's the difference between full readiness and careful budgeting. Let's break it down even further. Sweden ordered 60 Gripen E fighters for about 90 billion Swedish kroner over 30 years, from 2013 to 2042. That comes out to roughly $310 million per year, and that includes everything: maintenance, upgrades, and full support. Now compare that to buying foreign fighters, which Sweden estimated would cost around 110 billion kroner, about 83% more expensive. For a country with just 10.5 million people, that kind of saving isn't just helpful, it's strategic. Because of this cost advantage, Sweden can actually maintain a larger, more active air force. around 120 fighters in total, 60 modern Gripen E and 60 upgraded C and D variants, while other countries struggle to afford smaller fleets. According to military analysts, Gripen offers about 50% lower operating costs than its closest competitors. That means Sweden can generate nearly double the readiness for the same budget. More flights, more training, more presence in the sky. Now, to be clear, Finland chose the F-35 for a reason. It's one of the most advanced fighters ever built, especially in high-end combat against near-peer threats. But even Finland is watching Sweden closely, because while Finland is investing heavily in 64 stealth fighters that depend on specialized infrastructure and long-term external support, Sweden is building something different, a force that is flexible, dispersed, and incredibly resilient.
Think about it. Fighters that can operate from highways, aircraft that can receive software updates overnight, AI systems that can assist or even control combat decisions, and a platform that can be exported and adapted worldwide. This is not just about performance, it's about sustainability in real war conditions. Finland's defense model is strong, no doubt, but Sweden's approach might be something more. It might be a glimpse of the future. Because instead of trying to match superpowers dollar for dollar, Sweden is rewriting the rules, proving that you don't need the biggest budget to build a powerful air force. You need smart design, fast innovation, and the ability to adapt. AI-controlled fighters, highway operations, ultra-low operating costs, rapid software upgrades, and growing global demand. That's not just impressive, it's a complete shift in how air power can be built and used. And maybe that's why even Finland, a country with a history of standing strong against much larger powers, is quietly taking notes. So here's the big question for you. Do you think Sweden's cost-effective, innovation-first strategy is the future for mid-sized nations? If you found this deep dive valuable, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more analysis on the technologies shaping modern warfare, make sure to turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.